It's my pleasure to introduce Steve Clark. He is the superintendent of all of the national parks that are within our region. And we've also preset our panel, which consists of Brian Reedy from Fort Necessity, Mary Megas from Fort Ligonier, Lisa Hayes from Historic Johnstown, and Adam Schaefer from Flight 93 National Memorial. Okay, take it away, Steve.
Guys, I think we should have like an all-employee staff meeting here. A couple of our division chiefs. Good morning. Thank you, Dawn, very much. I have to say, is Steve still here, that gentleman, the last presenter? I'll tell you, I have to say, that was absolutely phenomenal. I had no idea the breadth of what Mr. Pomeroy has done across this country. It was so inspiring. And it's ironic, he actually grew up in Janesville, New York, which is where one of my daughters lives to this day. I was just there 2 months ago. So I handed Steve my card and I said, sir, if it's not too much trouble, do you see Mr. Pomeroy often? He goes, see him often. He's 82 years old. He's in the office every day. I said, holy Toledo. So I said, please have him email me because I'd love to have coffee with somebody like that. Just get to know him and thank him for what he does for that great flag and for our great country. But I won't take long. I just thank you all. Thank you, Ann. Ma'am, you are a gem. I absolutely love the Laurel Highlands. I live in Freedens, Pennsylvania, in Somerset County. Been in the area for about 10 years. Philadelphia through and through. After a couple of Yinglings, I'll show you my Philadelphia Phillies tattoo on my left. But we won't go there. So I live and breathe Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, but it's really ironic because when I started with U.S. Forest Service in 1985, soon thereafter, I was fortunate enough to get a position at Allegheny Portage Railroad, National Historic Site, for my first job in the National Park Service. And to have that come full circle, 30 years later, to have the honor of overseeing the 5 national parks in western Pennsylvania, it's something that's very near and dear. And many of you may think, I had no idea there were 5 national park units in western Pennsylvania, but there are. And I'm not going to do a show of hands, can you name all 5? But I venture to say there's a few that most people, even from this area and even in the market of tourism, don't get them all. So I'm going to tell you those. And pretty much in the order of why we're here celebrating our nation's 250th. But when you think of Friendship Hill, National Historic Site, I want you to think about the next time you take a $10 bill out of your pocket and you see President Hamilton on the front. It's granted. But on the back, there's an artist's rendition of the Treasury Building, which sits right next to the White House. And very, very small, in front of that building, on that $10 bill, is a statue. And most folks don't recognize the statue, but it's there. And they assume it's Hamilton, but it isn't. It's none other than one Albert Gallatin. And that's what Friendship Hill National Historic Site is all about. It's in Fayette County. It's an incredible park. It's the one to my right, Brian Reedy, has the honor of serving as the Chief of Interpretation, but also the site manager of both Friendship Hill and the next park I'll mention, Fort Necessity National Battlefield. There are not many national battlefields in the National Park Service, but again, to have one right here in western Pennsylvania and Fayette County, it's really something to behold. And visitation, I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 4. I wish it were a 10, because I just don't think folks really understand how pivotal that battle, July 3rd, 1754, really was. And what happened, just what preceded that at Jumonville Glen, the history right here is unbelievable. And then I'll go a few years later into America's history with the Allegheny Portage Railroad. You talk about transportation. Steve had mentioned transportation. So any engineers out there, it was known as the Concord of its day. Between 1834 and 1854, it took about 26 days to get from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia But when the Allegheny Portage Railroad opened up, it went down to 5 days. Think about that. So that's another gem here in Western Pennsylvania. That's Blair-Cambria County, and then the Johnstown Flood National Memorial. Commemorates the flood of May 31st, 1889, where 2,209 people lost their life when that earthen dam failed in St. Michael. So you think about Carnegie and Mellon and Frick, you think about Clara Barton and tort law and so forth. Again, the continuation of this nation's history, which leads me to today, this very moment that we are all living. Mr. Cook mentioned 9/11. That's where my office is located at Flight 93, and it really is. We're still living that, and I think for the rest of our lives we'll continue to do so. And at the far end, they'll have introductions, but Adam Schaefer is the Chief of Interpretation at Flight 93 National Memorial, and his father was literally the Shanksville Fire Chief on 9/11. So Adam has lived this story, and he's one of the best in the business. And I look forward to this panel here momentarily. But on behalf of the Park Service, here in, again, this region, there is nothing that I will not do. There is no room that I will not give an organization. Here you go. You want to use the auditorium? You want to use a picnic pavilion? It's no money involved. We want to be relevant. We love our county government. We love our township government, our state government, and we just want to be a part of everything that the 250th stands for. But even that aside, day in and day out, we strive to have our parks as classrooms. We are passionate about the next generation. And when you think about the college kids room in these buildings right now, that they weren't even born, most of them. So I just want to assure everyone, we may have never met. If you ever need to get a hold of the Park Service, just get with Ann or Henry or what have you, and I'll come and do any type of presentation. I'll take any phone call. I'll talk to any college kid that wants to be a ranger, that type of thing, because I stop everything to try and give back to that next generation and to our communities. So with that, where's Dawn? There she is. Ma'am, thank you so much for this invitation and the opportunity to share a few words. And with that, again, I look forward to the rest of the day, and enjoy yourselves. Thank you.